What's up? I'm Troubleshoot. In this quick guide, I'll tell you everything you need to know and more about dealers in Schedule 1. I previously made a video, but I was very misinformed as I was just starting out. But now that I've reached the end game on another save, in this video, I'll tell you everything you need to know and more, and some super important tips that you probably didn't even know about, even if you played this game to the end game maybe more than once. Let's do it. First of all, let's speak about what exactly dealers do. Dealers are people that you unlock while playing the game. If I open up my phone here and head across to the contacts page, you'll see that when we make friends with certain people, get our score up, eventually we'll find suppliers and, more importantly, dealers. In order to get contact with dealers, you'll need to make one of their customers happy. Once one of their customers is happy and you've found your way to them through this friend tree, you're able to pick them up, pay them probably 1,000 or so cash to get them to work with you, and on every sale, they take 20%. Sounds like a lot, but these people will make you a huge amount profit, especially if used properly. So once dealers are unlocked and you've recruited them by finding them on the map, such as Brad Crosby over here, Benji Coleman over here, and on the far west, Molly Presley, followed by another one somewhere down here, not too sure where. But once you get these dealers unlocked in each new region that you unlock, they make your life a lot easier. Instead of you manually taking buds, crystals, or other products and spreading them through the map yourself, answering messages, delivering deals, they'll actually handle these people for you. There's a couple of important tips and caveats that I'll get to in just a moment, but for now, you usually head across to your mixing station, add some things, and package them up in plastic bags to go and hand them out. But have you, at this point, used jars yet? And more importantly, do you know why you'd want to use a jar? Well, instead of placing just one item in a bag, you can place 5 total items in a jar, and this can be given to dealers to make your life a lot easier. Instead of stacking just 20 baggies, you can actually stack up to 20 jars in one single item slot. This means that instead of your precious dealer slots going to waste on just bags, you can actually multiply that space by 5, as each of these jars contains 5 buds, 5 crystals, etc. While you wouldn't usually give jars to customers, you can actually give dealers these jars and they'll split them up manually, selling individual pieces, getting their own bags, and things like that. What we can also do much later in the game is use things called presses. These are actually pretty insane. In a brick press, you can place a whole bunch of product, and after setting things up, you can compress 20 product into one brick. Then, just repeating this a bunch, you can stack 20 product into bricks into stacks of 20. So right in my hand here, I'm holding 400 individual bits of product in just one inventory slot, which is massive. Once you've got these more compressed types of products, I definitely recommend using at least jars. You'll need to find your way to these dealers and give them either baggies, jars, or bricks. If I give Benji everything, he's got a ton of stuff to sell and he should make a ton of money. Simply just walking up to a dealer, interacting, we can trade some items to give them items, or later on take them back if they're not selling, swap them out for pricier items, etc. And after some time, we can return to collect some earnings as well. Keep in mind, these dealers will move around during the day, actually physically selling your items, so they're visiting people on your behalf. Sometimes you'll get messages about possibly missing interactions with people and not making sales, but that's mainly because these dealers sometimes don't make it to people, which can be a pretty big issue. Dealers will deal in their area mainly, so Benji mostly in this starting area, then to the west, Molly, to the east, Brad, down south, and I'm pretty sure there's another one all the way across here. They sort of serve their own regions and they're best working there. They might try to travel across the entire map to deliver more, but oftentimes they won't reach and it's just going to choke your efficiency. What you can do specifically with these dealers is in the dealer section of the app, you can see exactly what they've got on them. You can see just one stack of jars and one stack of bricks is 500, so that's a huge amount he's got to hand out. He's handing out to these customers over here. Each dealer can have a maximum of 8 customers, and you can rearrange them and shuffle them as you see fit. So you can remove people here, assign different customers, and things like that. They'll try their best to sell to this customer base, and that's all that they can work with. Usually, by default, these dealers will have the correct customers assigned, and if you end up messing with them, their efficiency sort of goes down. Dealing through dealers is going to make you quite a bit more money than having to do things yourself. You'll mainly be focusing on expanding by selling to prospective buyers in the area like this person over here, potential customers, and making new connections with new dealers by doing so. Your dealers will handle your existing already covered areas, making money for you. In the description down below, you'll find this massive Google Sheet linked. It comes from this Steam guide over here, which you'll also find linked. Essentially, this guide is going to tell you exactly who should be with what dealers. So in Northtown, which will be Benji over here, these are the 14 customers that you can assign to Benji for him to handle. Obviously, he can't handle everyone, so from this list, what you should do is look for people with similar effects based on whatever you're giving here. Here, I see a lot of refreshing, so I'd take Peter, Donna, Peggy, and Ludwig, stick them together with a dealer, taking up 4 of the 8 slots, and I'll make sure that something that I put in there has refreshing to make them happy. Things like that. The same goes for Westville, Downtown, Docks, Suburbia, and Uptown over here. Obviously, more in the future as the map expands. These ones much further on have much higher standards. Compared to low and very low, it goes to moderate, then high. And of course, your product will need to at least be of this standard or better for each of these people. Usually in the early game, it's not going to mean that much, but later on, people can start rejecting you if you don't offer them good enough standards. But besides the point, making sure your dealers have the right contacts in the area is super important. That also being said, there's a couple of people that live in certain areas that ask for a lot of product and are willing to pay a lot more money and are much more high value customers than others. These particular customers, I'd recommend actually keeping for yourself so you can hand out product to them and try to upsell them by selling them more for more money, etc., compared to letting your dealer handle them, which is more for just the people who you're not too interested in handling manually. These high spenders you can find in another guide linked down below, most of which are listed here from the final area, followed by the high spenders pretty much across the map. These I'd recommend keeping for yourself, and of course dealing during the late night time segment where you can get the most amount of money. These people you'll take off the list of letting your dealer handle and instead do these yourself to really coin it and min-max everything. Your dealers can handle selling product that's not selling well with you or just help you make money overall. Now, while I've been speaking, probably for 5 or 6 minutes, Benji's been running around and closing sales. Benji's currently in his room, so I can go check, and right now, making a couple of sales, he's secured us a solid 1,194 just selling plain, unmodified bud straight off the tree. That is insane. So yeah, dealers are a huge part of this game, early, mid, and especially late game for making tons of cash really quickly, also giving you more time to focus on actually creating things as they do a lot of work on your behalf. Just make sure each dealer has the correct customers, either by leaving it at default or preferably manually changing it based on the 2 previous things that I've just shown you. By doing so, you can really min-max how you play the game. As long as you keep them stocked up on jars or even bricks in the future of product, then you're definitely going to have a much easier time. You can check at any stage in your phone under the dealer section over here, the inventory, customers, current cash, more. You'll find and unlock more dealers as you're playing the game, but they are a huge part of this game and its economy. Anyways, hopefully you found this video interesting, if not very useful. The high value customers and especially making sure they have the right customers is a massive tip that a lot of people still don't know to this day, including me, until I did way more research, finding exactly the best way to min-max things throughout the entire experience of playing the game. So yeah, hopefully this video helped you. Thank you for watching. My name has been Troubleshoot, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao.